Podcast Show. So, I'm having epiphanies, so to speak, um, about myself and about my journey. Um, I had a moment earlier where I was upset, and what compounded me being upset was the fact that there was really no one to speak about how I felt. And I know I have been um, basically coming on and utilizing my platform as a way to um, self regulate, also self reflect, and also just air out and release. And I stopped doing so much of that. I want to say this year because um, I just didn't feel right with sharing certain things on my platform. So instead, I went to journaling, back to journaling. Not that I ever stopped journaling, but I got more and more deeper into journaling this year, to the fact that I feel like I've utilized I've gotten to the end of several notebooks. And I just had a very interesting conversation with uh, someone who I would like it to be a new friendship with, but according to my just through my observations and also revelations that I've had from my guides, and my guides, kudos to my guides, kudos to my guides, kudos to my guides, because they just like literally just stepped in right now and just was like, they took over. So I want to say kudos to my guides, kudos to the divine. um at times there's such certainty, like such certainty, and just such certainty, and then at other times it's just like clouds, and this is new moon energy. Okay, there needs to be no clouds. Okay, I need full clarity, because and then I also am open and receptive to correction. So the universe, the divine, whatever you want to call that source, is always communicating. And it's very interesting because as I was in school yesterday, um, I got this message. Ooh, excuse me. I got this message about how important it is to be in your space, to be in your own energy, so that you can plug more efficiently into the divine and oh, excuse me, get clarity, get clarity. So I'm in the perfect position to receive clarity. I just have to quiet down all of the stuff that has like come to the surface in me today. And it's a lot because I got up feeling so giddy. I even put a post and said I feel like a kid in a candy store with that's immune to cavities and sugar rushes. So basically saying, hey, I'm happy, but the stuff that I'm happy about cannot be harmful to me, because obviously candy gives cavities. Overconsumption and overconsumption of candy can also give a sugar rush. So that's why I worded that comment specifically like that. Um, like, those are, it can't be harmful. Like, it's a good happy, it's a good happy, it's good happy. And I spoke briefly to my son, and he like gave me like a warning, almost like, be safe out there, mom. And I was just like, I'm getting dressed, da da da, I'm happy, da 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 da. And it was a challenge because the jumper that I wore today, um, I can't step into it. I have to put it on over my head and then I have to zip it, like zip the legs up. Hear that? Zip the legs up, which requires me to be able to reach my ankles. Which I know to people it's like reach your ankles, that's an easy thing, right? No, not when your muscles are still in repair. It's a very challenging thing. 99.9% of the times, I don't have on socks, even in the cold. What I do to uh, kind of, what's the word? What I do to keep my feet warm is put on warm shoes. And my shoes, I have to slip my feet into because, again, it's challenging because the muscles are still repairing. Now, what I will say, I haven't rode the bus in a long time, and about 2 months. And what I will say is that climbing up the stairs on the bus was way more easier than it was the last time. So I'm excited about that. It shows me growth. It shows me um, repair is happening in my legs. So I just have to keep at it. It's going to be a while. I don't know how long it's going to take. I would love for it to be quick. Um, but it's going to take how long it takes. I'm just going to keep at it. I have wonderful people, wonderful, wonderful, amazing people who are part of this journey now with me. And I'm grateful. Like, I really, really am grateful. I really am. I really am. I really am. And I'm also a bit emotional. me, me. I'm taking accountability and saying I'm sensitive. I'm tough, but I'm sensitive. I'm emotional, and um, again, I don't share everything. Um, but I can acknowledge those things about me. And I met this really, really great sister, and um, she gets it. Like I can speak. I can't speak as openly, but I can speak more openly with her because she just gets ooh, certain things about the personality I have. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on with this camera right now. Ah, I gotta give you a moment. I cannot pause this. I don't even know if I could pause a live. I don't think I can. I don't know what just happened with the camera. I'm using my tablet. Typically, I'm not walking and using my tablet at the same time, um, which is what just happened when I got up. So I'm just gonna sit it right here. I don't know if it's gonna catch. Maybe not. Okay, Super Tea Podcast, folks. What a week. It's been a week. Saturday, it's been a week. Okay, let's fix this. Let's get some lighting in. All right, now the camera is back to regular. I'm tempted to go inside my little podcast area and sit down. And that way I'm comfy. Orientation is locked. Oh, oops, can't do that. Let's go over here. So I'm reading the little notes on the screen. I'm utilizing my tablet once again. It's gonna look a little strange. Hey, welcome to the SupaTea Podcast Show. This was not a planned broadcast, so it's a little strange because of the orientation. When I started this broadcast in particular, I was in my comfy bed, and then I got up. And as I started moving and touching the screen, it got all a little weird. And then I put it down, and now the screen is back to regular. However, it's on my tablet, so the camera is positioned um, on the side because I believe this is horizontal right now. So I can't even like look at my face and talk as I typically would on my podcast episodes. So, yeah. The way this episode is going is the way just energy is right now for me. Um, so yeah. I've been utilizing my journals, and again, one of the things that compounded my emotions was the fact that it was just like, just literally no one to call and be like, hey, person that is wiser and more experienced than me, I'm feeling like this. And I wanted just to share that. I didn't have that opportunity, and that made me even more angry, you know? And so, in my anger, I did speak. I know they say don't speak necessarily when you're angry, right? But I did communicate, and it felt really good. It felt really good. I didn't speak to just anybody. I didn't speak to the people that I'm forming friendships with. And I know before I had excused myself, I was mentioning a good sister that I do communicate with on a weekly basis. But I won't be speaking to her until I return to my school because we're all on vacation, and that's where I communicate with her at. But she's good, and she's like she helped me before. I was in a vulnerable moment, and I felt very defensive, and which I think is a natural thing that happens for me when I feel vulnerable. I feel defensive, and I feel like I need to protect myself. And I expressed to her how I felt, and I expressed to her what was going on, why I was feeling that way, and she was like, she acknowledged it. Um, she didn't dismiss it. She didn't judge it. She acknowledged it. She was just like, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you just communicate? And don't communicate extra. Just go straight to the point. Oh God. Sometimes I communicate extra. I feel like I communicated extra with the people who owned the building to where I was looking to rent my cafe from. Which honestly, I'd rather start off small than start off big. It's a good opportunity and all of that good stuff. Washington Street, great opportunity. But Gateway was my first choice, and I need to move forward. I need to move forward. But what has been stopping me? It's like the opportunities are there. I know, like when I tell you I know, I feel in my spirit like the finance is not going to even be an issue, because I know, first of all, the business itself has good credit, and everything will be done under that, so it's not what has been stopping me from moving forward with my businesses, with restarting my community organization, is that I do not want to do that stuff alone. I did it alone already. I did it by myself. I did it single. I did it as a divorced single woman by myself. And those things are stagnated right now, because although they are of extreme importance, they're of importance because they allow me to be of service and allows me to navigate and move around easier, um, and provide solutions for others. I what I me what me need for me. What me need for me is my partner. Me not know where my partner is, and I'm making light of it and joking about it because I've been having interesting experiences. Like I had an experience with a driver the other day. I get driven back and forth to my appointments, and this one particular driver has driven me a couple of times before. Um, you know, bright young person. We talked about my book. Like that's how they remember it. It was like, oh yeah, you wrote the fantasy book, and I'm like, yeah, the sci-fi book, and they're like, oh cool, and we're laughing and we're joking, and then I feel the energy shift, and they feel the energy shift as well, and then it's like a mutual. I don't know what shifted the energy, but the energy shifted, and then I just got quiet, and then they got quiet, and then it was like, and I know this happens with young people, um, but this is what I feel happened. I felt the young man got aroused, and I. It's weird that I would even feel that, right? Because it's somebody else. But I am an empath, so it's not weird for me to feel other people's emotions. But yeah, I felt that, and I was just like, ooh, boundaries. Like, I don't really like that. Like, mm-mm, And then my logic is like, girl, but you could do you if you wanted to do you. And that's the logic, like, what are you doing? Because what I've been doing is I've been being loyal. It's the truth. I'm just gonna say it because what else can I describe it as? I almost want to describe it as silly though. I've been being loyal in a silly way. It's only silly logically. It doesn't feel silly, from the heart. From the heart, it feels like the right thing to do. But from the logic, like, it feels silly. It feels so silly logically. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I'm like, I gotta do something different. I gotta do something different. I gotta do something different. I gotta get out there. I gotta actually, like, date. I gotta actually date. I can't just be, like, just working on me, working on me, working on me, working on me, and just happen to meet folks. Like, you know, I got to actually be intentional, right? I gotta be intentional. And I guess I could say I'm grateful for whatever this year has been in that space for me, because it has gotten me to the point where I'm very intentional now, where I wasn't so like, it's a big deal. Now it's a big deal for me because it's just like, whoa, whoa. Just as I had that interaction with um, the young man, it's like I've been having different type of interactions with a young man. Like, it got really energetically weird for me. Um, he opened the door when I came, and not most drivers don't. Most drivers don't like get out the car and open the door, but he got out, he opened the door, which, no big deal. That was going. It got weird, kind of coming back, and when he went to go let me out, when I tell you in my personal space, like it was right here. He wasn't over here. He was right here. It was just right there. Like, and just smiling, like, like so. Um, and I felt like he caught himself, which is good, and I had to just like ponder about the experience, like, oh, that was interesting, like I caught it, whatever, you know, guys are guys, it wasn't the first time ever, obviously, for me to have an experience like that, but this is where it got trickier at because things are happening, people. We are aware that we are evolving. We are aware that we have all these different abilities that people don't talk about, but we do freaking have. Now, how do they work? I don't know. Especially as a creative, it's a very gray area for me to even get on that topic of communicating through telepathy. But what I will say is that energy is energy, and some people are more sensitive to energy than others. And so I come in and I'm relaxing and I go lay down and I'm in a full fledged conversation. I'm gonna say on the motherfucking astral plane. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because where the fuck else were we? I was physically here. That young man was physically wherever the freak he was, and but we were having a full like conversation in a deep conversation, and I had to like stop myself and wake up. And then after I stopped myself and woke up, it wasn't like the conversation ended. It was like it was still like basically him telling me that he could satisfy me. And I was just like, yeah, I want more than that, and it was weird. It was really weird. And I had to like go into meditation and be like, okay, why was I even receptive to that? And it was like, oh, that energy exchange. So now I had to, like separate, like, okay, I don't want that person's energy on me. Bye. Return to your owner. Don't linger. 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 So I did that, and so that happened this week, and and so again, I've been not out. I haven't been outside. I've been outside in regards to going back and forth to school, but I haven't had a date in a while. Um, I have just attached myself. I have attached myself, and I didn't realize that I attached myself. Like I realized I was attached, but I didn't realize when the attachment happened. You know, because it just seemed like a natural thing for me, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I don't know at this point. But I don't know whether it's fortunate or unfortunate. It just is what it is, okay? I call it bad or good. But let's entertain logic. Logically, no. No, no, no. Logic should have created a boundary. But my heart overbared my logic, and there I was there, and I was just like, and it wasn't quick. It wasn't quick. um but I did realize that it could happen, and I initially tried to just say, okay, let me just be away, let's just go away, because that's not good. It's not good, but it felt good, it felt so great. So I was just like, and then it's almost as if the universe or if other forces were just like, it became magnetic, and here I am now, right? And now I'm just trying to figure out how to demagnetize. And I did not help with the magnetization because I thought think a lot. And I'm not just thinking about anything. And as I think a lot, whatever you're thinking about, that's where your energy is going. And I know that. So you think I would be like, don't you think about that person, Scara? Don't you think about them? But I do. And I have been. And, and now I'm in a situation, well, I'm not exactly in a situation, but now I have decisions to make. And it's new moon, and it's the perfect time to make decisions. So what I have decided to do was to um, create a boundary where if I do think and I do give off some of my energy, which is okay, that I'm doing so from an overflow, so I'm not depleting myself, which I never feel depleted, to tell you the truth. I ain't gonna act like I do. I go through some very extreme emotions, but depletion is never one of them. I never feel tired, like, I've been over here and now I'm exhausted, now I feel drained. It's always the opposite. It's always the opposite. It's always like, woo! I just had an espresso quadruple shot, and now I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake. Yeah. So, but I don't know if that is the proper thing to do, because I don't ever want to be overbearing, to be um, latching on, for lack of better words, in any space or place or one to anyone where I'm unwanted or not received or not seen completely. You know, that's not ever my intention there. So I'm like, I need to withdraw myself a bit and focus on my degrees. And that's what I'm choosing to do. Focus on my degrees and actually go outside and actually sit down and have dinner with gentlemen, because if I'm going to be completely honest, as I have grown, the type and the caliber of the men who do pursue me, um, with exception to that young guy, are of a different caliber. They're respectful, they're gentlemen, they're honorable. They're not like, "Hey shorty, what's up?" They're like, they can feel, I guess, my feminine presence or energy, and they approach respectfully. You know, I have been the one who has been like, uh-uh. No, thank you. I'm involved. I have been the one who has been very strict and very like, mm-mm. You know, because sometimes even when they are being respectful and approaching me properly, I can see like they feel the goodness, but they also want to feel the goodness. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, I'm not ready for that. You know. And the reason why I haven't been ready for that is because I've been locked in and loyal somewhere else. You know, and it's only been an energy thing, which doesn't make it not legit. But again, it has to be mutual, right? For that to work. Like, I can't be just like, oh, that's so wonderful. That's so amazing. What amazing potential. What amazing this. What amazing that. Oh, that person's wonderful. Oh, that person's amazing. And then, like, just just be there by myself in that space. Like, I have done that already. I did that for a whole decade, people. I did that. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it at all, but I did it for a whole decade, like my whole 30s. And yes, I can say I was very wounded. I was a grieving mother, and I just really just wanted a safe space to to be. And that person did provide that safe space to not be taken advantage of by other folks, because grieving mother is very vulnerable. Like, strong and all, it's still vulnerable as fuck. It's like, if if I hadn't had that friend of mine who pretty much covered me for a decade until I was like, I could go out by myself now. Like, I feel I'm capable. I'm capable now. It's been a whole decade. I've been just to myself, and just not all the way to myself. I did have a boyfriend in that time period, and it was a decent boyfriend. He was a decent boyfriend. He wasn't taking advantage of at all. He was actually one of the best boyfriends that I've had. And he actually called me yesterday, but I missed his phone call, and I tried to call him back. Interesting enough, it kept going to voicemail. And today, as I was in my big attitude, because so this was my emotions today. Very happy, like a kid in the candy store that's immune to sugar rush and cavities. Da 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 da. And just was that. Like, that was the energy I was in as I put on my stuff, which was challenging. And I still got my socks on because it's going to be a challenge to get these motherfuckers off. I might use my feet to get the motherfuckers off, but for right now, they on. Um, but yeah, that was it. I spoke with my son, and my son is like, "Be safe, mom." I'm just like, safe for what? I'm already safe. I'm safe. Like, that was part of my affirmations this morning. I'm safe. The universe is carrying me. I'm gonna open, and I didn't have any expectations at all. Like, I had none. I was like, the universe is gonna carry me, and because I don't know what to expect of the day, and I'm just going to go and hear somebody that I admire speak, and then I'm gonna go. I don't know. Then I'm gonna be open. I really was just open and receptive to whatever else the day was going to bring. And it didn't work out like that. It didn't work out like that, because I thought I was going to hear the speaker at a open event. I didn't realize it was not an open event. And when I got to the space, and I was like, okay, I'm here, and I was talking with an employee, and the employee was like, what are you here for? And I'm like, I'm just here for the public thing. And it was like, oh, that don't start until later. And I was like, oh, why did this person tell me they were talking early? And they was like, oh, who's the person? And I was like, such and such. And they was like, oh, such and such. Oh, follow me. And they just escorted me into this space, and I entered into this space, and I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. Now, all full transparency, I've been kind of inviting myself to spaces. No, let me tell the truth. Let me tell the whole truth. Okay, this is where it all started. I got an email at my school that said, I got more than one email that invited me to the staff party that was at my school. And I was like, why they send me an email? And I was like, you know what? Freak it. I'ma go. And I went, and it was receptivity. They gave me a little charger. Everything was cool. I got plates. And then here go me. Here go me. Here go me. I probably should have just got my food and sat it down, right? And mingled along. But no, I didn't do that. I got a plate for me. I got a plate for my friend. And then I left out of the place. And I was just like, that was interesting, especially since even so, I got the emails, right? I answered the emails. They sent me more than one email. I had to register, right? I did all of that. Then, before I even went up there, the security guards was asking me like, oh, did you go? 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 And I was like, okay. So I took that as a sign I was supposed to be there. So I was there, right? So I was there. That was the first thing. It's funny how shit happens in threes. The second thing, I'm laughing now. I was crying like a big baby earlier. I was so angry. The second thing was yesterday. The second thing was yesterday, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm kind of sort of staff, so whatever's going on, I'm gonna be there for the staff stuff. And this time, it was only certain departments, and I know, I didn't get an email this time, people. This time, I did kind of overstep, and I felt like like I felt the eyes like, who is she? She don't work here. I felt all of that, but some of the people knew me, and it was like, hey. And so I saw coffee, and I was like, okay, let me just get some coffee and leave. And as I was getting the coffee, they was like, who's that, who's that, who's that, who's that? And I could hear, I'm going to just say my colleagues. I could hear my colleagues saying, that's Miss Bay. That's Miss Bay. That's Miss Bay from such and such department. And I was just like, hi, who are you? And the lady was like, I'm such and I'm the head over this, that, and the other. And I was like, okay, well, nice to meet you. And, she was like, help yourself. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then I did not just this time leave. This time I sat down. It kind of cleared the space. I didn't mean to clear the space, but the space cleared after I sat down. And so I was like, okay, and I laughed about it with my friend. And I asked if my friend could come, and she came. And then it got a little weird because I don't know what the heck she started talking about. She like interrupted the boss lady that was having a conversation with her subordinate, and I thought it was gonna be like a quick interruption, and it kind of worked because one of the other subordinates was waiting but he didn't want to interrupt, and so he didn't. But when she did, he was like, "Well, since she did, I'm just gonna cut in real quick and be like, thank you so much for everything, and have a good one." And he left, right? And then she just went on, and she kind of rambled a bit because she started in one space, but then she went to another space, and then she was going somewhere else with it, and it was just like, okay. And then all of a sudden, it just naturally, the two people that was already having the conversation went back into their conversation, and then it kind of like diverted. I kind of diverted what my friend was saying somewhere else, and other people joined in, and so she got to continue saying what she was saying, and so that was that, right? And so I was like, okay, observation, just observing, right? And so then after that, she went to go do some work. I went to go to my work study space. I did some work. And then after the work was done, I went to go check on her. She was still doing some work. And so I hung out with her a little bit, a couple of hours, because I was like, I don't want to go home and be in La La Land. That was my logic. I was trying to avoid La La Land. So let me explain to you what La La Land is. La La Land is where I'm just really, 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 really happy. And I know, why would you try to avoid being happy, Takara? Because I don't know. There's no logical reason for me to avoid being happy. I like being happy, but I just didn't want to be just twirling around the freaking house. So I was like, to avoid twirling around the house, I'm gonna go and help my friend. So I went and I helped my friend for a couple of hours. She was getting some homework done, or some end of semester stuff done, stuff, whatever. She had work to do for her stuff. I hung out with her, and now though it's like 8:30. Now I finished my work study at 4 something. So now I didn't hung out 4 hours, 4.5 hours, trying to avoid La La Land. I don't think I'm ever going to do that again, because number one, I like La La Land. So again, La La Land is just me feeling happy, me just completely in a heart open space, and me just really just being in the moment, and letting my inner child just be. My inner child is happy, and You see children, they just be in their own little zone. So that's just, I was trying to be an adult. I am an adult, obviously, but I was trying to be serious. Like, don't you go in La La Land? You gonna be in La La Land? And I was, it was almost like I was parenting myself. Ironically, not a new thing, but ironically, that's what it feels like. Like self-reflecting, it felt like I was parenting myself. I was like, "You're not gonna go home and be in La La Land all freaking night, okay? You got find something to do. Go help your friend." And that's what I did. I helped my friend for 4 hours, and then I came home, and guess what? I very much was in La La Land. I was like, oh, this is not escapable. Like, I have to try hard to not be there. Oh, fuck that shit. I'm just gonna be there. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Here I am. I'm in La La Land. Went to bed in La La Land. Got up in La La Land. Told you I woke up and I was like, I just feel so kitty. I just feel so free. I just feel so good. I just feel so me. And I even put my little post. I know I've said it already, but I'm gonna say it again. I put my post and I was just like, oh, I feel like a kid at a candy store that's immune to cavities and immune to uh, sugar rush. And that's how I operated. That's how I started my day. I did my affirmations, and I got myself together, and I was looking cute, and my hair was sticking all the way up in a bun like this, top of my head yesterday, all adulty. And I said, I'm gonna let it down today. And I put a big fat braid in, and I did something different with my outfit. My jumper has a hoodie to it that's detachable, and I said, I'm gonna wear the hoodie today. I went out and I was like, shine bright like a diamond. So anyway, let's get back to what happened the third time that I entered into a space where, and it was weird. I was not officially invited. I was welcomed, and I wasn't just welcomed because of a person. I was welcomed on my own merit. However, when a person approached me in there, and there was only one lady who probably was one of the organizers. When she approached me, she asked me who guest I was. I just mentioned the person's name I was coming to see speak, because I didn't realize the demographics of the event. Nobody explained it to me. Now, the person who escorted me in there told me how the event went, but she didn't tell me this was an event that was only for invitees only. Like, she didn't tell me it was a guest list. She didn't tell me none of that stuff. I want to say her name so bad because I asked her name. She didn't tell me none of that stuff. She just literally escorted me in there, told me that's where I needed to be. Oh, you belong here. You're here for here. Come, 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 come. And I sat down, and people were coming up to me and hugging me and embracing me, and I was hugging them, and I love elders. Like, to me, it was just like, wow, universe, thank you so much, thank you, divine, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then the speaker walks in, and the speaker sees me, and I wave to the speaker, hey. They wave back to me, hey. And I'm there, and I'm socializing with some elders, and they're telling me about the cathedral and how I need to go inside the cathedral. And I'm like, really? They're like, every Christmas they have an event, and they light 5,000 lights, and you need to be there. And I'm like, oh, I can see that cathedral from my window. I admire the architecture from my window. And they're like, you have to go inside, young lady. And I'm like, okay, well, I will go inside. And we're just there, and we're just chatting, and we're just having a good time. And I'm excited. I got a program, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then the lady who asked me, who was I a guest of, I guess, approached the speaker, or the speaker approached her. I don't know what happened, because again, I was there socializing with the elders, and I had received so much love. I had received hugs. Like, I don't think elders are randomly going up to people and hugging them. Like, your vibe got to be right, okay? And they were not hugging me because I told one lady of the speaker's name. They didn't even hear that. She came to me right in my face. She asked me it very low. I answered her very low. She even gave me a hug. So I'm like, I'm so confused now. Like, what? Why was I dismissed? That my dismissal, and my friend had to break down that my dismissal was because I wasn't clearly invited, and but I still was upset. Oh, I was very upset. I was very upset because I was like, wait a minute, the space has received me, the people have received, the elders who you're asking for permission of have already said yes to me. They didn't say yes to me because of you, because they didn't know that I was here to even see you speak. Only one person knew, two people knew that. The person who walked me in and the other person who came up to me. The other people didn't know that. They were just coming to me. They were just approaching me. And it was nothing to do with this other person. Although the other person is the reason why I knew that this thing even existed, even though I didn't know the details of it, because they didn't tell me the details. They just mentioned to me. It wasn't like I overheard. They mentioned directly to me. It wasn't like I saw a flyer. They mentioned directly to me. So I would thought it was a part. I thought it was one big thing. I didn't know it was two separate things, and I got upset. I got very upset, and then I shared how I felt. And then I felt better. And then I came in and I ate. I made myself a good omelet. I think I made a video about the omelet. The omelet was the bomb. That spinach omelet, like I'm gonna have another one tomorrow. It was really good. It was really good. It was nutritional. I drank some juice. I watched some comedy. And then I was like, I want some fried chicken. Like I want some comfort food, right? And I ordered some fried chicken. And I went downstairs and I waited for it. Then my phone went out. Had to come back upstairs, plug up my phone. Then my chicken came. And then talked to my friend for a little bit. And at this point, I'm not upset. So I'm like, okay, cool. Da 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 da. Blah, blah, blah. You know, then I didn't even mention anything. And then, the human being I am. And then, after all of that, could I been present? Can I have been present in the here and now? Now it's, what time is it? It's 7. So this is like the sun is going down now. And I didn't have my chicken. I had a nice balanced breakfast. Now I got my music on and I'm having a glass of wine. Because I'm calm now. So I'm okay. I'm good. I didn't laugh. I'm calm. Glass of wine, listening to some music. I'm fine. Right? Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. I wasn't fine. I got upset all over again because I thought about it. Now I feel a bit better. And the reason why I feel a bit better now is, I suppose, just self reflecting and speaking and recognizing I'm okay. I'm okay exactly where I'm at. It's okay that I have to figure some shit out by my motherfucking self. It is okay because I have guides. I clearly have guides. I clearly have protection. Even though my son was adamant about, be careful, mom. And then I got home and I was like, he was trying to warn me. He knew his mother's feelings was gonna get hurt. I clearly am always safe because literally, when I got upset again, this is way after, this hours later with a full stomach, good music in my house, minding my business, I get upset again because I think about it. I'm just like, I can't believe it. I don't understand. Like, I just wanted answers, you know? Like, why would these people be so receptive? Why didn't I feel the strangeness that I felt yesterday when I, where I was at, on the 5th floor? Why didn't I feel that? Why didn't I feel that then? Why didn't I feel the same thing? Why did I get it brought here and sat here and received here? Like, on my own merit. I know, even though, yes, I wouldn't have known about it, I got to give credit where credit is due. And yes, I did mention the person's name, but I wasn't like, I was like, oh, hey, I'm here because, it was, that's not how it went. That's not how it went. It was, it's not how it went at all. And I didn't know, even though you had to be guest to be there. That was that lady's words to me. Who are you a guest of? So I said the first thing that came to my mind because that's the person who I was coming to see speak. So that's what I said. And I didn't know she was actually like, there was an actual guest list. Like, they had to tell me. So there is a guest list. You're not on the guest list. You got to go. And I was like, but they already received me. So wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. The people that you about to ask for, the people that you here to honor, have received me already. Just me by myself. They have received me. The people that you have to ask permission for, they have already received me. But now you're telling me to go. Oh, because I mentioned your name. Well, shit, I won't do that shit again, though. I'm laughing, but I'm serious. I won't. I won't do any of it again. I won't. I will be very clear on invitations. I will be very clear. I won't just assume just because somebody is walking me into a space that I belong in the space. And even if the space has welcomed me, if somebody comes and asks me a question, it was a lesson. It was a lesson to be learned, for sure. It was a hard lesson that hurt my daggone feelings on this new moon, but it was a lesson. But anyway, so now I got upset again because I'm thinking about it and I'm just like trying to piece it together because I'm just like, I don't know what happened. And obviously, just miscommunication, and I try to explain it to my friend who uh, interrupted the lady yesterday. It kind of got long winded, and they were out and about and moving, and not. I don't. They heard me, but yeah, they were just like, yeah, they heard bits and pieces. They didn't hear everything, like they didn't hear how the elders were coming up to me, hugging me, and welcoming me, and they didn't hear any of that part. They just heard, oh, you mentioned that person's name, and you wasn't supposed to be there. Oh, you was supposed to be there. Freak it. And it's like, but I put on socks and a jumper. Those were hard things for me. I know those are not hard things for you, but those are hard things for me. And I'm not fibbing. Look, I'm not fibbing. I got the socks on, people. I know this is not a hard thing for a lot of people, but for some people it is. And I know it's a temporary hard thing for me, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy putting on socks. I put effort into putting on socks today, people. I put on effort to put on these socks today, and I just was a bit disappointed. And I did express it, and I felt good expressing it, directly to the person. And I guess I should have just left it like that. And when I got re-upset, I should have just re-regulated myself again, right? But I didn't. This time I said, well, I don't have a wiser person to speak to, but I do have people who care about me. I'm laughing. 'Cause here's the truth. I'm not saying that people don't. Yes, there are people who do care about me. But I also know that a person can only care about you as deeply as they care about themselves. And when a person is healing themselves and healing within themselves, they're going to come from that perspective of where they are. And so, me sharing how my feelings and my emotions, it was just like, okay, you entitled to your emotions, but oh well, you wrong. And they said I was more so wrong because I communicated how I felt. Because who cares about how you feel? And it's like, I thought you were my friend and you cared how I felt. And they're like, no, not really. Mm-mm. I got other stuff. They about to come get my car. I don't know where I'm gonna live. I got this going on. I still got to divorce this. Like I was just like, oh yeah, they're healing. They're healing. But the reality is I almost feel this is where the epiphany is how it's all started. This broadcast right here is that perhaps I needed to see where I have grown from within myself so that I value and honor where I'm at more. And even though I appreciate it more. Appreciate the woman I am more now. Appreciate how I've grown more because I used to think a lot similar to that individual, especially like right after my divorce, you know. And so I get it. I get it. I get it. I definitely get it a lot. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, thank you, universe, for showing me this. And I want to see definitely this person completely healed. And I know it's not my responsibility to do it. I can't do it for them. I have to, and I have my own places and spaces because, again, um, things came up, but I just think that's just an aftermath of authenticity, like when you are around authentic individuals and there is just an authentic exchange of energy, there's going to be things that you may have tucked deep down. Even though you've done a whole bunch of work and you've done a whole bunch of healing, there's still things that may come to the surface. It's kind of almost part of like the purification process, all of the things is coming to dissipate and for you to acknowledge and be like, oh, okay, I still have certain areas, because why do I overshare? Why do I overshare? Oversharing is a result of trauma. Oversharing is and even though the trauma could have happened decades ago, um, it becomes a habit. It becomes habitual, So it's like you're oversharing because you feel like you have to prove your worth to somebody or to someone, And I'm happy that it was brought to my attention that I was doing it because I wasn't even aware I was doing it. I thought I was just being vocal and just acknowledging my feelings and not keeping them stuffed inside and all of that good stuff. But in reality, it's like, wait a minute, I have to be honest with myself. Like, oh, okay, there are like three separate incidences, three separate individuals, but one thing that has been consistent: me oversharing with my the landlords of the property owners for a prospective cafe space. Overshared. I could have just said no about giving you no tax documents. I didn't have to go and explain to these people why I'm not giving them tax documents, who I am at law, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. I didn't have to do all of that. I didn't have to do all of that. They don't give a fuck. They just want to make sure they're going to get their goddamn money. That's the whole point of them asking for it because they want to see, oh, do you have it? Well, hello, I don't have the lease yet from you guys. With the lease and me and the bank having a discussion, you'll have it. But uh yeah, that was that. But I overshared. I didn't even realize. Like I realized that they were not entitled, and I should have just said no. Show me the space first. But no, I was like, oh no, sign an NDR and do this. And I even went to the courts to make sure that they're actually the people that's listed as the owners because I've had experiences, traumatic experiences with going into spaces that people claim to be the owners of and they were not the owners of. So Again, oversharing, trauma response. So sister girl has been traumatized, obviously. But does that mean that I should not date? No. Because I have healed a lot. And even though there's more healing to do, I don't want to do it by myself. And I don't want to go into these big ventures by myself, neither. I want to take my time and go into these things with my sacred life partner. Like, I want my sacred life partner to look at my business plan. I want my sacred life partner to have some input and suggestions, and just be a sacred partner and vice versa. So I have to get outside and go dating people for this to happen. So I went back online. I do have another profile. Um, and so I'm going to allow these good new guys who I've never met before to pursue me. And may the best one win. And I'm going to figure, I think I'm okay in other spaces. I have to see, though, to see where it's at. And I feel better already now that I have emoted more onto my channel. And yes, I have been being therapeutic to myself. This is therapeutic to me, and I feel it may be therapeutic to somebody else. Because, yeah, I know that there are opportunities for people to actually sit down with a professional and get and talk about how they feel with a professional and all that good stuff. But sometimes it's good to hear other people's experiences so that you can do the responsible thing and self reflect into yourself. And when you self reflect into yourself, make the adjustments that you need to make within yourself. It's not an overnight process. Healing is just a process within itself. And I'm grateful again for that friend that for that whole decade was sort of like a covering. And yes, now I'm out in the big world by myself, but I still have my spirit guides. I still have my spirit team who are very serious about keeping me safe. And I feel good now, and I feel better now. And it's okay when I get upset. I just have to be responsible, because I was talking hella crap. Like, was I got upset the second time? Yeah, I was like, it was interesting. And I had these new beads I have to take them off, though, because these new beads are supposed to like enhance whatever emotion you're feeling. And an emotion is just energy and motion. So you're feeling good, you're gonna feel extra good. Probably why I felt extra good, because I definitely had on those beads while I was feeling extra good. And then I got angry, and it probably was not a good look. Okay, I was supposed to take them off, but I did take them off the second time, but I didn't take them off quick enough. So I have them on, and I'm on social media, and I'm scrolling, and now all of a sudden, whatever I'm emoting out is being reflected back to me. So now, instead of the normal posts that I normally see, I'm seeing all these other posts that's like, better protect your energy, and you better stay safe, girl, and don't you let nobody tell you. Yeah, yeah. But I'm honest with me, and I'm glad that I'm honest with me, and I love me. And it's okay for me to be sensitive and strong and to express myself. Whether people care about it or not, it feels good to express myself. And um, it is what it is. So I'm going to continue to express myself. I'm going to be more mindful about oversharing. I don't think I overshare with everybody. Um, but if I feel like I felt with the people for the cafe, I felt like, oh, this is going to be a long-standing friendship. This is going to be a long-standing friendship. So I want to just tell you off the grip who I be. I ain't black. I ain't African American. I ain't from two continents. I am Miss Bay. I'm indigenous to right here, the Americas. This is where my folks is from. They've been here 10,000s of years, probably more than that. Probably before Pangea split. My folks migrated over these parts. That part. They're like, we didn't ask you that, Miss Bay. Can you pay the goddamn rent? You ain't gonna give me the keys unless you got the money, so I don't understand what that was all about. But people don't think how I think. And I have to recognize that and realize that I am me, I'm unique. And one of these days, my uniqueness, I feel my uniqueness is appreciated already. One of these days, there'll be a partner. Instead of me coming on here, or maybe they'll come on here with me. Maybe they want to do a podcast with me. Maybe we'll have discussions, relationship discussions, discussions about self-regulating, discussion about growth, and discussion about healing. Maybe, perhaps my partner would like to be a part of my podcast. You know, who knows? Maybe my podcast will evolve. SupaTea Podcast Show will actually have two co-hosts. It's possible, right? It takes two, baby, me and you. All right, I'm done being silly and emoting on my channel, but I'm happy to make these memoirs because as I grow, I get to go back and I get to look and I get to listen and I get to be like, you know what? I'm clocking that matcha tea, girl. It might be concentrated. It might be a little bitter. You might have to add some agave syrup to it, but clap, clap, clap to you, brown lady, brown skin girl. Clock, clock, clock to you for being mature, for accepting all parts of you, the the vulnerable parts of you, the parts that still may need a little extra tender care. Be tender to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't try to avoid La La Land ever again, okay? Don't do that. It was lesson learned. Don't do that. Don't do that again. Don't do that again. Enjoy La La Land, okay? When La La Land comes, enjoy it. And that's it. And leave it as such. Leave it as such. But take care of you. Focus on your studies. Date. Be a college girl. Because I don't know what I've been being. I haven't been being a college girl, though. I've been just being all serious. Serious Miss Bay, laughing and joking, but still being serious about other things, you know? Like, not my goodies. Not my goodies. It's time to unjar the goodies, okay? Responsibly. It's time to unjar the motherfucking goodies responsibly, okay? So, with that being said, I'm gonna go outside and start dating so that I can just end up where I need to be. Because otherwise, yeah, that part.